Please, the show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
What is up, Nickel City Mafia? It is late or early on the East Coast, and Jake and Shawn just made their way back from the game. I mean, we're gonna get into it. Jake, what do you got there? Where are those wings from?
I am feasting on some Bar-Bill Cajun honey barbecue wings, and let me tell you, the best in the world, Mike. Even when they're cold. I mean, these are like I put them in the air fryer for not long enough, and they're still delicious. And they're victory wings. Thank God. It was a lot of stress at the end of that game. My voice is shot. But man, it's a win. We'll take it.
Well,
it
first
felt
of
like
all,
a bigger win than it actually was. Look at that.
Yeah, you're famous. You guys, at the end, if you stuck around and watched the after show, finally, I'm watching. I knew where you guys were. I know Brett found it as well. I zipped through it the first time. I'm like, I just see that Nickel City Mafia. I rewind. I have to wait because the rewind was terrible, but I got it. There it is. I got some other pictures, but I'm like, where the hell is Shawn? And who's this woman giving you the assist, Jake, holding that sign up?
I asked her, I said, because she was in front at first, she was waiting for a while, and we were on the other side, so we kind of like maneuvered our way over there. And I said, hey, do you mind holding the sign up? Because I'm not going to get in front of you guys. I don't want to be that guy. She said, no problem. I'll hold it up. So then she started holding it up, and then the kid next to her, who was shirtless, then started holding it up after her. But hey, they caught us at the right time, so that's perfect. And I'm right there. So
where's Shawn though? Where's Shawn?
Shawn was talking to a kid to like my other side that was just out of scene.
Well, I was trying to help.
He was trying to help someone actually,
so
paying it forward,
but me in the ass again, and I get nothing in return. I was literally walking. I was beelining towards Jake, and then the guy pulled me aside. He goes, "Hey, man, do you know where the visitors' buses go so we can see the players and stuff?" I was like, I think they go over here. They got a three, big garage thing. I said, let me ask my friend though. And then, so I missed it. And, I know it looks like that it isn't our sign, but it's definitely our sign because I know Jake's not holding it, but it's all in all of our stories and we have it right here still. So
what's the picture in the top right-hand corner supposed to be? I can't see that real well.
It's Fitz at the playoff game when he took his shirt off.
Oh.
A little blurry.
Yeah, a little blurry, but yeah, and then paid for these nice seats right by the tunnel. And after the game's over, I was telling Mike quickly before after the game was over, then you got these little teenage kids that jump in front of me who didn't pay for the ticket so they can get to the spot I was supposed to be at on the side of the railing. And I was just like, I hate when because the people always say, oh, the kids deserve it more than adults do. I was telling Jake, I never got these experiences as a child. I never got to see players or get close to players or nothing. So I don't give a shit if you're a 12-year-old kid and you jump in front of me. Like I should have just said, hey man, unless you pay for the seat, you gotta back up. I don't care that you're a little kid because I'm still a little kid in my heart too. Just like Josh is a little kid, I'm still a little kid. But it was cool. I got to see Jim Kelly. Nice. I got a nice video of Jim Kelly. I got a nice video of Cody Mock, our favorite one of our favorite linemen from the pre-draft. So I got a nice video of him.
Got called on he got called for a penalty today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very obvious cold call. Yeah.
A couple videos of just like, some Bucs player like Mike Evans, got a close up of him. Josh came by, moving around a little bit, close up, and I got a lot of cool stuff I'll show you guys, and it was nice. But for the kids out there, if you didn't pay for the seat, don't jump in front of the people that paid for the seat because we love the Bills just as much.
I was kind of bummed that it felt like most of the action was away from you guys.
Oh, it was.
Right?
Yeah.
We were time
this close to seeing Dalton Kincaid on the shovel pass.
So you would have been like, if it was on your side, Kincaid would have jumped right where you guys were.
Yeah. Well, we thought he got in. Remember before before the quarter ended?
Yeah.
Shovel pass. I was like, oh, he's in. I was like, let's go. He's gonna come.
Oh yeah, that was at your side, wasn't it? Oh man.
I was like, of course.
This close.
Well, I'm gonna have
it was
you
a
guys,
hell of an experience, let me tell you.
I'm gonna have you guys do most of the talking. It was fantastic, but I want to bring up just one scary moment for those of us at home. Let me show you this picture real quick. All right. This is the Hail Mary. Credit to Baker Mayfield. He threw that ball 63, 64 yards in the air. One of the most perfect Hail Marys you'll ever see. And Terrell Bernard is trying to hold off Godwin, and he's mugging him. And that ref up top probably, if he really wanted to, could have thrown a flag a few different plays, because you got the three guys on Evans, and then you got these Benford. I don't know who they're mugging right there.
Man.
But, man, dude, this thing, if Godwin turns around just 1 second earlier, he's going to be able to spot that ball. But right now it looks like, oh, he's got it, right? But no, he had just turned. That ball was traveling with a lot of velocity on the way down, and he just kind of missed it. But scary moment. And I was like, oh, my goodness, we had this game in hand. And next thing you know, we're a Hail Mary away from losing this. But fantastic game. I'm going to throw it to you guys. I'm going to let you do most of the talking. I'm going to say hi to everyone who's staying up this late. Jessica, she's saying, apparently the Grinch is in the house. That must be
Hey, I'm
Sean.
a happy
Grinch
camper. I
Sean.
know Grinch. but no, I was still, even though I was on the other side of the field, I was still nervous about it as soon as the ball went up in the air, because it looked like it was in slow motion. It was just perfectly.
Yeah.
It was like it hit the lights, and the ball was just spinning perfectly, and I was just like, all I thought about was DeAndre Hopkins, and I was just like,
Yeah.
no. And then I saw it on the jumbotron. I got tipped a little bit, and I was like, it's in the air, spinning. Oh my god, someone's gonna catch it, and then
Everything was
luckily,
like just working in their direction, because Von Miller gets a offside, right?
that pissed me off so bad.
And he gets 5 yards closer. I'm like, oh my God. Now Baker can actually reach this end zone. And sure enough, he did.
He
But
did.
anyhow,
He reached it.
we won the game. Let's have a little bit of a little music
Oh,
here.
yeah.
We won the game, baby. Let's start it off with this. And Jake, let me throw it to you. This is all about you guys. You were there. I don't know if you made your way over to where the panel was, where Fitzy was, and the rest of the group.
That's where we got seen.
All right, so start us off.
It's a great moment.
Wherever you want to go, buddy. You guys talk to me.
I will start pregame. So pregame, it was already a win because I had the sign out there. I was right in front of the Thursday Night Football set, held it up there. Fitzy came out. He saw me, went, gave me the little look, and he gave me a thumbs up. He loved it.
Oh, that's awesome.
He is the freaking man. People in Buffalo absolutely love that guy and totally understood. Like, he did so much for the Bills during the drought years. Gave us a little bit of hope, even though there really wasn't any. And he still made football exciting, even though it wasn't, like, at that time. It was brutal to watch. So shout out to Fitzy. He is a true Buffalo Bill through in and throughout. We freaking love that guy. By the way, he did play for both of those teams, the Buccaneers and the Bills, but that was super cool. So that was already a win for us. The experience in general was great. I mean, I will say this, the crowd was electric. My voice is shot. I mean, we were loud. It was rocking. I don't know how it compares to that Dolphins game, Sean, but it was that stadium was moving. I mean, the decibels were at like 100. I saw 113 the one time.
Yeah.
Freaking nuts. So I don't know what that equates to, but the atmosphere was incredible. Jake equals Grinch doesn't like little Susie who and Tim too getting in his way.
Well, that was me. I didn't like it.
That was Sean.
What?
No, I was the opposite, Jessica. I didn't want to get in people's way, so I gave them my sign because they were holding it up. I didn't want to get in front of the kids. So the people that were already there, they held the sign.
No, I was saying, because we were talking about paying it forward. So I paid it forward by having a kid jump in front of me in my seat that I paid some decent amount of money for. So that was the paying it forward that I got in return. Was I helped the kid out to find his team to go watch go get autographs, and then there was two Buck fans sitting in front of us, two ladies. There was two Bills fans next to him, the two seats next to him. They left in the fourth quarter as soon as it started. Yeah, so they got to move over. They got Mike Evans gloves. Yeah. They got a cleat or something. They got all this stuff from the Bucs players. I was like, wow.
Mike Evans' hands, by the way, huge.
Yeah,
huge.
That's a good thing they left, because if they didn't leave, those Bills fans would have been in the way, and then they wouldn't have got to get the stuff from them. And then Cody Mock signed a Bucs flag. I said, hey, let's go, Cody. Obviously he probably thought it was weird that a Bills fan was cheering for him, but he doesn't know that. He doesn't know the work we put in studying that man. So
I know.
Cool. It was cool seeing him, and it was great. There was people try to. Nobody was in our seats when we got there, but people next to us, other people were in their seats, trying to, cheat their way up, and
we were right next to we were right there. The tunnel was to our left. It was pretty awesome. The seats can't get much better than that. Yeah, the only unfortunate thing was we wanted to see a touchdown at our end, so every touchdown scored was at the other end. But
we saw some Bucs touchdowns though.
Yeah, we did. We saw Chris Godwin, that great catch. That was right in our end zone there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Also, we saw 2 holding calls in the end zone, Mike. Should have been 2 safeties tonight, but I won't get too deep into that. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was absolutely, kids and all. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
there was a couple of fights near us.
There was a fight.
A couple of fights.
Yep.
Oh wow.
They got kicked out. It's like, hey, you want to waste your money? You want to waste your hard-earned money getting kicked out? And hey, Cam play some special teams.
Hey, I want to listen. I'm not going to say the flags were not great, but shout out to Sam Martin.
Hardy was.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to our boy Reed Ferguson. The snap was great every time. Shout out to Reggie Gilliam. What a great down punt by that young man today.
Finally, some
Very
special
impressive.
teams do some good stuff.
And Deontay Hardy, man, he can make some stuff happen.
He finally showed up, man.
He did.
He was looking the part tonight. And Sarayan Neal had a chance to down it at the 1 yard line. I was like, oh,
yep.
He kind of missed the jump or mistimed the jump.
Hardy had 2 great returns taken away because of holdings, of course.
Cam and no Cam hype. So I will say this, Trek Reviewer. They had so much confidence in Cam that they made Kyer Elam inactive once again. So that's how much.
Did.
Who was going to play corner, right? So it was either going to be.
Let's talk about that. To start off the game, 2 special teams tackles, big energy tackles by Josh Norman tonight.
Yes, I know. That was crazy.
They didn't put him on the stat sheet though, but those were his tackles.
He's probably not updated on the roster or something yet. That's crazy.
He got the first 2 kickoff tackles, which was awesome.
Welcome back. He says, well, thanks for staying up so early. I don't know where all you live, but even here on the West Coast, we're a little after 10 o'clock. So you guys
it's a party still.
It's
over
a party.
Drive,
but Shawn, let me throw it to you, man. Wherever you guys want to start, I'm just going to let you guys run with it. So talk to me, man. Where do you want to start?
Well, I mean, it should have been a drubbing. It wasn't a 24-18 type game. It felt like we were in control the whole time. It was 24-10, and then we were moving the ball down the field, and then of course, stupid mistake. Then it's 4th and 1. McDermott doesn't go for it. 4th and 1. McDermott doesn't go for it, and then because he has a little bit of confidence, we're like, oh yeah, we'll be good. And then we moved the ball great. I mean, Josh was 78% completion, 324 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. He also had 7 for 41 rushing with 1 touchdown. And he was running a little bit, but then when he got too foot happy, he got dinged up. And I was like, hey, see, you're trying to bite off more than you could chew again. Take when it's there, but you try to run a little bit too much. And then now your foot or your ankle, he was tapping it on the ground. He went to the tent actually today too. And
when I heard that, I was petrified.
Yep. But hey, I mean, he ran the ball well, and he took a lot of open lanes that we were talking about. Take open lanes, and he did a great job. I mean, Khalil Shakir had a day. That was incredible to see.
Yep. I love it.
Leading receiver, 6 for 92. He ran someone over too. He knocked him down like 10 yards.
Yep.
And then Gabe Davis, 9 for 87 with a touchdown. Another fantastic day. Diggs got locked down, 9 for 70. According to our friends on the AFC Summit.
Hey, we love you, boy.
No, that's not
true. I was messing with you guys when I sent that text. He's like, you think I should send this?
Oh, man.
That's locked. He got locked down, and then our boy Kincaid.
That's on me. I'll put my hand up on that.
He finally got in the end zone, 5 for 65 with a great touchdown. And then Cook and Murray got each had 1 catch. So all the receivers, we didn't even use Hardy or Sherfield today. So it goes back to kind of what I mentioned about people are always wondering why aren't they being integrated in the offense a lot? Because as you can see, they're not even the first through fourth weapon on the team. So they're not going to have a big playbook for guys like Hardy and Hardy and Sherfield. If they get in the game, they make a play. That's all, we can be grateful for that. But these 4 guys, Kincaid, Diggs, Davis, and Shakir, are the main playmakers. And they all 9, 6, and 5. That's incredible.
Fantastic. How good is Dalton Kincaid? Come on.
I know. Incredible.
Holy smokes, what a freaking steal.
But I was kind of bummed out. The first drive, we looked really good. We looked really, really good. And then we got stuff, and I was just like, There you go. Field goal. Hey, it's Lisa's points though. Lisa's points.
It was points, and
Every drive should end in points.
Yeah, I will say though, going bouncing around a little bit. I put a different expectation on the defense after last week. I said, we really shouldn't be expecting them to hold people under 20 points. You should expect them to give up 20 to 30 points every game from here on out because they're so banged up. But that defensive line today, they absolutely responded for last week. I mean, nobody got bullied. Oh, yeah. Nobody got knocked off the ball. We controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. The offensive line was perfect. I didn't see one lost rep from my angle. I mean, obviously I'll have to watch the tape, but
they look good.
Offensive line was fantastic. The D line was getting pressure all day. I'm assuming Baker. Let's see how many times he dropped back.
42.
He dropped back 42 times. He probably got pressured on at least half of those.
Oh yeah,
at least. And,
Baker was running for his life. I mean, he had to get out of a lot of those sacks. I mean, there could have very well been 4 more sacks that happened tonight, but Baker was a magician at times. And credit to him, man. He played his ass off. Not much more he could have done, in my opinion.
Well, let's give more credit to the secondary.
Yep.
Because
absolutely
the leading receiver was a running back with 7 catches. Then Chris Godwin had 5 for 54 and a touchdown, and Mike Evans had 3 for 39 with a touchdown. So the 2 guys that I was extremely worried about didn't even total 100 yards, and they had 8 catches total. And after the New England Patriots receivers absolutely destroyed our secondary, of course we're going to be worried about the team. Mike Evans is an all-pro. Chris Godwin is a number 1 on many teams. And to hold him to what we did, I'm extremely, extremely satisfied.
Oh, yeah.
As far as McDermott goes, he got the Boo Birds going today. And besides the fourth down stuff, he didn't challenge that safety in the end zone when Baker got his knee down. I mean, at that point, it's you're up 2 scores.
Yeah.
You don't really need the timeout. Why not just try it? Because it looked like he was down.
He wasn't down,
No.
though.
His time management. But you got to at least go for it at that point because you never know. You really never know.
Maybe.
But
I don't know.
It wasn't just that. It's his time management. When he called a timeout when the Bucs were rushing to the line and they were all confused. So, and then he called a timeout to give them an extra time to have a better play. Because when you call a timeout for the Bills, the Bucs were able to go, okay, now we can settle down. Let's find a better play. We weren't rushing to the line. And it's just why are you calling a timeout? Your defense should be ready. Oh. You don't need to call a timeout. You're playing prevent
momentum. It's a momentum.
You're playing prevent defense.
Yeah.
Stop giving them the advantage by calling timeout.
Yeah, it was frustrating.
So he didn't have his best day, but I'll throw it to me and Jake.
His defense came to play, and Jake, let me throw it to you.
Incredible.
I mean, you were saying, you and Brett were saying all week, let Josh be Josh. Josh got to do Josh Allen things. He did. There was electricity, man. He was fired up on the sideline. They came out in an up tempo type of style game. They were hurrying to the line, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. They were in sync. They got out of sync in the 4th quarter, and I think they just let their foot off the gas pedal, which can bite you sometimes, and it almost did. But up until then, man, they were rolling. So, Jake, what'd you see from your guy, Josh, and that offense, especially through the first 3 quarters, man?
Dominant. There were a couple of errors. Of course, he has that little blemish, their interception there. But I love the creativity on that play call. I actually thought my boy, Ken Dorsey, called a pretty good game for the most part. There was the one run on 3rd and 1 on 1 yard line. You got it. Why isn't Josh under center there? Why are you running it in shotgun with Latavius Murray? I mean, that awful. But otherwise, thought he called a pretty sound game, used a little bit of eye candy, and I thought Josh Allen was very confident out there. He got off real quick, right off the gates. He was running the football. He was out there rolling to the right, making great throws. I mean, he did a lot of great things today, took what the defense gave him, but made big plays when he needed to. And not many bad things I could say about him. Another 300-yard game, another 3-touchdown performance. Fantastic job.
Yeah, everything you want out of him. Jessica Mayfield wasn't close to being down on
the way they were showing that on the Jumbotron, it is crazy what home field advantage does, because they made that look like it was a safety on the Jumbotron. They were purposely showing it.
It's just the principle though. It showed he has no guts. You gotta, in that situation, go for it, because we ended up not using the timeouts anyway, and we wasted them. We used them for helping the Bucs out. You gotta show something. You gotta try. And you know, in that situation, I would have just threw it just to see, because you never know. New York might see something you guys might have thought you saw. You might have thought he was up, but maybe he wasn't.
Yeah.
And you know, just like it looked like in the stadium, New York could have saw the same thing. But I mean, it's whatever. I mean, the defense played way better than expected than they needed to. I mean, they finally balled out.
They really did.
But still, it's like if it comes down to a playoff game and McDermott's got to throw a flag, is he gonna be chicken shit and not throw it because it looks like he's not down, or are you gonna try to throw it and help your team out? That's what it's coming down to.
Yeah.
But
my only thing on that, Sean, I mean, he's got guys up there watching, right? He's getting somebody in his ear, and they tell him don't waste the timeout, because like Jessica, and like from our angle, it was clear. So if he had that same angle, he's not going to waste it on there. But I mean, this game shouldn't have even been this close. I mean, face it, they went on this 17-play drive. The Buccaneers did, right? And 2 4th-down plays stopped them. And guess what? Penalties on both of them. Like, oh my God, what's happening here?
Oh yeah.
And it just extended the drive, and then they finally come away with a touchdown. I'm surprised they go for 2. I'm like, oh no, let's stop it. And then what happened there? We deflect the ball. Everything was going wrong. Like that play's over. We deflected, and no, it goes right into the guy's hands. So at that point, they're down by 6, and you're like, oh my goodness, please come. And then they get the ball back, and it's like, no. And I knew they were going to have a shot at a Hail Mary. But, man, this game shouldn't even been that close. We had them stopped on that crazy drive. They had a lot of things go their way. I mean, the face mask on the defensive guy who had Baker sacked. I mean,
Jordan Phillips.
Tough.
That also goes to the undisciplined and lack of focus. Like, you literally had like you said, it was a 17-play defensive drive, and you stopped them. I thought it was 3 4th downs they got called back. Yeah. And even if it was 2, it's like that's 8 plays as it is. Plus, you know, the more that, like, the game should have been us kneeling the ball down or scoring another touchdown to end the game in our end zone, 31-10 or something. But you know, it's they don't make it easy. They want to always give it kind of sucked the life out of me at that point. I was like, wow, they really gonna. I looked at Jake. I go, I can see it now. We can't get the first down. They get the ball back. They get a crazy touchdown. It's 25-24. And then we don't get a touchdown, and the game's over. I was like, they're gonna do this to us. They're gonna do this to us. But then I remembered, I'm at the game.
That's right.
I'm at the game, and I don't lose that.
They don't lose. They don't lose when Sean's there in attendance.
But yeah, I mean,
you are right, Sean. There was 3 4th-down plays.
Was it 3? Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Two of them were stopped, and that one was, and they were called back, or penalties were called on them. The last 4th-down play, they actually converted. It was 4th and 10 at the Buffalo 24. And that's when Evans got his touchdown.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So,
like you said, Mike, it didn't feel that close because that should have never been a touchdown.
Yeah.
And we should have got. I mean, we probably should have had the ball with at least 5 minutes left.
The plays.
And
TJ Taron Johnson had another. I mean, he's been handsy lately.
Yeah, he was in today. I mean, he had a couple good plays, but he had a couple plays where you're like, oh, another illegal contact. That's like 3 weeks in a row. Should have been 4. You know, you should think, wow, come on, TJ, you got to be a little bit better than that.
He had
played outstanding. Hyde and Poyer made a lot of great plays.
They did, didn't they? They really did.
I thought Benford, even Jackson did exceptionally well too. I think today worked good for switching Williams and Dotson in the game and out of the game.
Yep.
I thought they both actually did really well as well. And then, I mean, the whole defense.
Did you guys see Williams come in?
Yeah, he was rotating.
They kept rotating him.
All right, it seemed like most of Dotson
started though.
Yeah, Dotson started.
And but yeah, I mean, like I said, offensively, we should have had like way more points. They really all came to play today, and you know, just the little things like that pass that Josh got picked on. I told Jake, he's thrown that to the ground 100 times so far in his career. He usually never, like, if the guy's there ready to jump, he just throws in the dirt usually. Yeah. So the one time he didn't, and then we talked about the one bad thing the offensive line did today was when the ball's in the air after it's tipped, you could literally knock someone out cold and there's no penalties. Once the ball's in the air when it's tipped, it's fair game. So they were all standing there like this, like trying to get the ball. It's like, lay these defensive linemen out. Like, knock them on their ass and like make sure they can't get up. And then make sure the ball hits the ground. They didn't do that, and the D tackle made a great play.
William Goldston, shout out to him. He played a pretty good game today, I thought. It was huge when I found. I mean, Vita Vea didn't play too,
Yeah,
So we
that
found
was
that
great.
out too. That was huge, of course. But I think, yeah, just going to the line of scrimmage, I think the Bills controlled both sides of the ball there. Did a great
Exceptionally
job.
well. Yeah. It was great to see. And like I said, the score doesn't indicate that it was a good bounce back, but I really think, especially the defense, like they kind of screwed themselves in the end with all the penalties called back. But I thought they played outstanding, and then the offensive line played real good, and probably even better than it seemed. I thought Cook ran the ball pretty well. He saw the holes good. He had good vision, running powerful again. Receivers were catching. Davis looked like he couldn't be stopped. He wasn't worried about nothing, and Josh was slinging the ball real good. He's actually looking through progressions, it looked like, on the field, and I was super happy because I was like, did he finally turn the corner and going back to his old ways where he's actually looking at all of his guys? And when you got two guys that got 9 catches, another guy that's got 6, another guy that's got 5, your top weapons, you can't complain about that at all.
Yeah, it
was just a great. Like I was telling Jake, the play calling has always been fine to me, but he got a little bit more in his bag today, a little bit more, Kansas City type creative that I always mention, but it all looked really good. The getting Diggs in the backfield, that was such a great eye candy type move where they're like, oh crap, Diggs in the backfield, what do we do? And it was just a normal run play.
Yep.
It was just things like that what makes him creative that some people might not get. And then, look at the offense, 7 for 13 on third down again, 4 for 15 for the Bucs. Defense did great. Offense, awesome. Penalties got me,
Yeah.
Talk about we were heated about that. We did not love that. Very frustrating at times with the penalties.
Yeah, so Benford was phenomenal today. And the touchdown to Evans went off of Benford's helmet. And actually, it deflected just ever so slightly, but Evans still was able to stay concentrated and brought it in. But I will say this: when you have an offense that's struggling, you bring in Khalil Shakir and you get that team going.
Yes.
I mean, what was it? The first drive, he must have had 3 catches on that first drive.
Oh, yeah, he did.
6 for 92, like Shawn said earlier. He was the top receiver as far as yardage goes. I was thinking he got the 92 pretty early on. I'm like, come on, get him one more pass. Let him get I think he has had a 100-yard game, I think, because there was a game last year where he didn't have a lot of catches, but he had a couple big catches, and I think he might have gotten to 100. But if not, I was thinking they would throw to him one more time to get him the 100 yards.
Yeah.
But it was just impressive. There was just something different. And I'm going to throw out that last, got to get that fixed. Got to get those penalties fixed. Can't stop a team twice on 4th down. Give them life, because that's what happens, man. Then we're sweating it near the end of the game. But, man, what do we got here? Dorsey. Was Dorsey on the sideline?
Was he on the sideline?
I thought I saw, because I saw a skinny guy with like hair like Dorsey.
Really?
I saw the back of him. But it came out of the tunnel though, but it was in the middle of the game.
Oh yeah.
So I thought I was like, that can't be Dorsey.
There was a lot of people in Halloween outfits costumed.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody dressed as Dorsey from the staff.
There's a lot of skinny guys with brown hair, so I don't know. Maybe I was just tripping, but he said it too, so maybe it was him. I don't know.
Interesting.
Poor Keith.
Yeah.
It's all right, Keith. You're 5-2. You gotta be pumped up, baby.
So Jake, you actually said it too. You're like, at least make the defense think Josh is gonna run. And we saw that in the game after he had ran a few times. So that play to Kincaid, when Josh rolled to the right, they had to respect the fact that he was gonna run. And that left Kincaid wide open on that route. So that was beautiful, beautiful play. So you called it perfectly there. Just put the fear in that defense just a little bit. So what else you guys want to talk about?
Just the vibes. They were incredible. It was a great night of football. Perfect weather. Couldn't have asked for a better temperature. It was low 60s. Wind wasn't too bad. It was just a perfect night for football. It was awesome. Got to go with Shawn. Sat right next to the tunnel. We got to see some players up close and personal. These dudes are mammoth of human beings. I mean, obviously you can gain an understanding of how big they are from the television, but when you see them down on the field in person, it's like, holy smokes, these dudes are freaks.
Rousseau is just I couldn't believe how big he is. He looks way bigger in real life than on TV.
Latavius Murray, I mean, he's like as big as Josh.
He's the same height as Josh too. So I think
crazy.
I think either Josh is really 6'3" or Murray's 6'5", because they were their helmets were barely uneven.
Wow.
That's a big guy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they're both 6'4". I don't know, but he's a wolf, big.
Yeah, it was incredible. As you could tell, I lost my voice, but man, I don't really have a whole lot of bad things to say. I'm upset, obviously, because it was
No bad
closer than it
things.
should have been, but yeah.
I think people that aren't hating on Buffalo will see this game and be like, oh yeah, it wasn't really 24 to 18. It was a lot worse than that. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, even if you just look at the advanced stats that I think you're bringing up now, we destroyed them in total yards, fourth down, third down efficiency, first downs. Like, it was just a great. Yeah, we had 427 total yards, 312 passing, 115 rushing. We held them to under 80 rushing yards and 224 passing yards. That's really good.
You go up against Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, two guys. This is a great test for our secondary. And obviously the D-line came out to play. Like, this is the defensive line that we expected to see last week that didn't show up. Yeah. They made up for it. Eddie Oliver back in the lineup, gets a sack today too.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
Vaughn looked really good too, actually. He didn't get home, but he got a lot of pressures, and
it was slow at the end. He finally heated up.
So it looked like. So what were you asking for? Like, let's have Vaughn available in the fourth, and he was in on that fourth quarter on those last few drives. But I didn't see Oliver in on the fourth. So on those plays on that last drive. So I don't know what was going on there. Maybe he was on a pitch count or snap count, if you want to call it.
Yeah, because he was probably still a little bit,
Yeah, I did see Vaughn. Dude, he had Baker wrapped. I mean, he got to Baker. It was kind of behind his back, and then Baker just makes a great throw, and there's a guy out there to the right who catches it. But it's good to see Vaughn making some of those plays, getting closer.
He got guillotined once in the end zone.
Yeah, he did.
What's that?
He got guillotined on the end zone on a pass rush. It should have been that one should have been a safety, because when you get holding in the end zone, that's a safety, and his whole neck was just wrapped up in his arm. So, but yeah, he looked like prime Von Miller on some of those pass rushes today. So I was pretty happy to see that. And
so they got Norman in there with 2 tackles.
Oh yeah, it didn't show.
Special teams tackles.
Baby. It didn't show it on my. I have an app for the games and stuff. It didn't show him on there, but good. He had two real nice ones.
Yep. Ted Washington, massive human being. Pat Williams, another one. Yeah. Yeah, and it's crazy. It kind of put things into perspective. I mean, working with UB and stuff and being around like Division 1A football like that, like obviously, you see these guys at the 1A college level, these Power 5 players, Khalil Mack, seeing him every day, but then you even come to the pros and it's like, oh my gosh, like these dudes have a pro weight room regime. They're even bigger. It's freaking wild.
I even talked to Spencer Brown.
Yep.
I said, great job, Spencer.
Sure did.
You had a hell of a game, buddy. And he was like waving to everybody. And some players just keep their nose down and head into the locker room, but some of them look up and wave and high five people. And, Kincaid seemed to be soaking it all in. He was like smiling. Like,
he loved it. He was one of the last to leave the field, actually.
Yeah. But, well, Mike, let me ask you. So you've been asking us a lot of questions. From the TV, how did you like the play calling tonight?
I love that. Like I said, it was upbeat, high tempo, coming out early. Josh seemed to be, they were in shotgun a lot. By the way, those shotgun runs were working, especially early on. Yep. And Josh it seemed like he was just making a lot of calls. I heard the LeBron James call get called.
Oh, he did?
Some of the things, LeBron James. That's always funny. And he had a couple other ones, but it was just Josh was in command, and he was up there. Looks like he was making some audibles, some different calls, just in full control. He was excited. He was on the sideline. It was fantastic. The only negative, other than that last drive that they had for, where we should have stopped them and not even let him have a touchdown, was that we were at, what was it? It was 2nd and 1. It was, I think, right before the end of the third quarter, right? And we decide to snap the ball. I think we were trying to pull them off sides.
Oh, yeah.
You guys remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
And Josh gets sacked. And I'm like, that was unnecessary, because now I don't think they ended up having the punt.
Oh, yeah.
And whereas they would have had 2nd and 1, extend the play. That was it. Otherwise, fantastic. Now, I don't know what happened in the fourth, because we punted the ball quite a bit in the fourth. Let me bring that up real quick.
Yeah, we got shut out in the fourth.
Let's see here, play by play.
For Sam Martin, though, he did have himself a day.
Sam Martin was killing it.
Love it.
So yeah, if you go back to after the touchdown, we had punt, 6 plays punt, 9 plays punt. This might have been that one where we did that.
Yeah.
Second and 1. Yeah. Second and 1, and then he gets sacked for -10. And that was right at the end of the quarter. Just let the quarter run out. And then we have a 3rd and 11. We don't complete.
I think he thought he drew him offside, so it was a free play.
It did look like they jumped. I will say that. It did look like they jumped. But yeah, it was great. It was great. It was like, wow, this is the team we're used to up until that 4th quarter. And maybe at that point they just took their foot off the gas, which they should never do.
Yeah.
Never do. But other than that, fantastic. I loved it. I'm sure. Let's see here. What's the rest
How
of the
did the crowd sound from the TV?
They didn't have, I don't know, it didn't feel too loud. Okay. I mean,
it makes me sad.
No, it was
loud.
I'm sure
it was loud.
I don't think they had the mics turned up enough there for that. Let's see here. Let me stop sharing that there.
It was electric. The environment was incredible. As you can tell, I have no voice. It was a lot for me. And I'm sad because I like talking, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying not to talk too much tonight because I caught a cold last night, so I'm coughing a lot.
Yeah,
we gotta be pumped up, dude. We're 5-3. We got a huge game agage Cincinnati in 10 days.
We got 10 days of rest.
And we get rest. That's huge, guys. That's huge. We get a much needed rest and a lot of extra time to prepare for these Bengals.
There's no excuse. Yeah, they're playing against the Niners this week, and we got 4 extra days before they play to get. McDermott should be in the office right now, getting ready for a game plan for Cincinnati. Him and Dorsey and Washington and Babbage and all them, they should all be like, okay, got the win. We're not going to go home quite yet. We don't want to disturb our family that's sleeping at night. We got to get to the film and get going.
You could tell that Sean McDermott wanted to get out of there. He ran right to the tunnel.
He couldn't wait.
I think he wasn't obviously happy he got the win, but he didn't want to even hear it from the fans because I think a lot of those 4th down calls, none of us were thrilled with that.
Yeah, Mike, and that play you brought up too, where he got sacked. The next play, he threw it to Diggs and he got to a 4th and 1.
Yep.
And then if Josh never took the sack, it would have been a 1st down if it was the same exact play.
Yeah.
So it's just like what I always mention, it's just the little things that make it from like a really extraordinary game to what we had. I mean, it was still a great game, but we could have had over a 30-point game and, looked just unstoppable. But, for how we played last week, this is 100% better game. Yeah, we didn't score as many points as last week, but we played a hell of a lot better. And I think everybody should feel good now how they responded at home. People did look hyped up, especially the defense.
Oh, yeah.
Defense looked like they were hyped up on the field. Josh still didn't really show emotion. Like, he had that touchdown. He's just like, yay.
I think he was grimacing, though. He was banged up. That's when he went to the tent right after that.
Yeah.
They probably shot him up.
Yeah, but
he was scrambling to the right. They tripped him up, and he was kind of a little – you could see right then and there something was bugging him, and that's when he went to the tent. Larry, my good friend, I haven't talked to you in many years, Larry, but good to see you out there over there on Facebook. Larry. Niners, I certainly hope they beat the Bengals up for us and have them all ready for a big Bills win. So good to see you, Larry.
Love it.
We got to talk sometime, man. Let's see here. Trek V, you're saying does Damar Hamlin play for Cincinnati?
No.
He's been was he inactive?
Yeah, he was inactive.
He's been inactive. Okay.
He was, and Elam was there too. So
yeah,
I know there's been trade rumors, but I feel like if he was going to get traded, he wouldn't have been there, and maybe he would already been on his way to where he's going. But he was there. He did look bummed out, but I mean he did get benched, so that would probably constitute being bummed out. But I gave him a cheer too. I said, hey, Kai.
It says a lot though, because if from a depth perspective, if either Benford or Jackson got hurt, they were going to have to roll with one of the other two we mentioned, Saran Neal or Cam Lewis.
Lewis, baby.
Josh Norman too. You're right. He was out there. So that's probably who you think they would have put Josh Norman in next if one of those guys versus Saran?
Maybe.
Interesting.
I love him on specials though. If he's like that,
I like that. He looked big. He looked
Yeah.
big and physical.
He looked
on
in
those
shape
lists.
too. I mean, it didn't seem like he was, why not? Gotta love it.
Good stuff. Well, guys, I
hungry.
know
35
it's
years
late.
old,
Let's
Mike.
give out some game balls. By the way, Larry, get on over to YouTube and smash that subscribe button for us, buddy. Want to see you over there on YouTube. But let's give out some game balls here and call it a night because, Shawn, you got to be on a train in what, 3 hours? 2 hours?
It's okay.
Oh, my
hours.
goodness. And Jake, are you taking him to the train station?
Sure am.
Oh, my God. Are you? I'm hoping you took the day off. Did you?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
All right. Good.
I
Good.
don't.
All right. All right. So game balls for you. Give out 3 game balls, Jake. Who's your 3 game balls?
Dalton Kincaid, first off, first career touchdown. Got to give one to Josh. And I'm just going to give a full one to the D-line.
All right.
How about it? No.
All right.
Sam Martin. I'll say.
Oh, he's got to go special teams.
Sam
All
Martin.
right. Got to do special teams.
Got to do it.
All right. What about you, Shawn?
D-line, O-line, and Gabe Davis. We've been clamoring. I mean, obviously, Josh. He said Josh, but that's I'm not gonna double down on it. But, Davis, and even without the 8 for 87 and a touchdown, even if it was just like the 5 for 50 or whatever he had, that's what the sweet spot for a solid number 2 receiver.
Mm-hmm.
5 receptions, 50, 60 yards, and they made big plays like first down, like key catches. So he looked like he was on a mission to put away those bad games he's had so far, and he had the target will say he missed one, but Josh, that was a horrible throw. It looked horrible from our angle. I don't know.
Yeah,
it
was off.
There was one pass that Josh threw to Diggs that it looked like a normal good catch, but like when they showed it on the jumbotron, like later on, I was like, wow, that was just
It
like
was close.
it was like threaded right through the needle. Like I couldn't believe that. So the film will, I'll get to see better angles, but Davis looked like he just couldn't be stopped. And I want to give one to Shakir too, but I'm sure Mike will. And these guys stepped up. The secondary weapons stepped up, and it should give us promise because even though they don't have a great overall team, they were the 6th scoring defense, so 6th in points allowed, which is really good. So
Todd Bowles, defensive minded
Yeah.
coach, and they got some dogs on that defense. I mean, the linebacking core is really good. They got some good edge rushers. I mean, that's not a team that's like a bad football team by any
No.
means. I know they've lost like 3 in a row, but that's a team that's been in a lot of close games, and they fight to the very end, and you saw that tonight.
Yeah, so my game balls, of course, goes to Khalil Shakir. He got it all started, I felt, on that first drive. And 6 catches for 92. Keep it going. Let's keep this young man in the game plan. The other 2, I'm going to give it to the safeties, Hyde and Poyer.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of
Love
people
that.
have been down on them, saying they're looking old, slow, but they came to play, and they played a fantastic game today. So looking forward to this rest. Now we get to kind of relax on Sunday and see what develops. I mean, look at the Jets. They had off this past weekend, and they actually moved up in the standings by doing nothing but just relaxing. So hopefully we have a similar thing happen. I know our AFC East teams play some bad teams this week, right? The Jets play. Who did the Jets play?
Giants.
Is it the Giants?
Trap game.
Hey, we thought they were an easy game. They're not an easy game.
Yep.
No team is. And then who do the Dolphins play?
Patriots, Dolphins,
Ooh,
round 2.
that's going to be a good one.
Without Tyreek Hill, I think, right, Keith?
Oh, baby.
I don't know if I know he got hurt, but I don't know if he's out.
Yeah.
But
Where's that game at?
New England?
I think it's – no, it was in New England. Or no, was it?
Oh, yeah,
No.
it was New England, yeah.
The last time I know New England wore
Yeah,
their
they're
throwbacks.
in Miami. Yeah, 'cause New England had two home games to start the season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So New England coming in right in a high. So hopefully maybe we'll see. It's going to be interesting, but we just get to sit back and relax. And yeah, look forward to next week's game. So guys, that's it. I mean, it's late. I'm trying to not cough so much. You see me going on mute sometimes, but thank you guys for getting out here. Thank you guys for going to the game. You are undefeated, Shawn. You are undefeated. Every time you go to a Highmark game, we're gonna have to get you there more often. I don't know.
Yeah.
We want to start a fund.
Start a donation
Send Shawn
pool for-
to all Bills games, all home Bills games. And have you ever seen the Bills play anywhere else but Highmark?
No.
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 Maybe we got to get you out there. Some of the other
I started
stadiums.
saying, hey, we'll start the Cincinnati fun.
Oh yes, Jalen Ramsey
baby.
might play, huh? So Ramsey's getting close. That's going to be a big game changer for you. Good to see you out there, Dad. What are you doing up so
thank you,
late
bro.
there? Yeah, thank you. All right, guys. Good night. We'll see you soon. Go
Go Bills,
Bills, man.
Bills, baby. Good night.